I'm alive. Oh my God. I can wiggle my toes. And up there is the clock, ticking minute after minute. Our lives and our time is so precious, and it's time for action. My name's Pete, and I'm in intensive care. That's an arterial infusion bag, and here is a line into my artery. I had my operation about 11 hours ago at 10 a.m. It's now 9 p.m. I'm feeling quite fantastic. Over here on the table, my young intensive care nurse, who was a triathlete, bought me my supplements. I hope this gets into focus. Fantastic. There's a bottle of my homemade GCMAF yogurt from Professor Ruggiero. Here is a bottle of my MCT coconut oil. I'm in ketosis. I'm having these every hour. Here are my super protein pills, MAP, from my wonderful friend Dr. Heinz Reinwald. I'm having 6 of those every hour. Here is my Immuno from my wonderful friend David Rigg. It's a natural killer cell stimulator. Here is Enduracell, which is a sulforaphane powder from my wonderful friend Christine Horton. Here, I can't show you, is a bottle of protein powder made by my beautiful daughter Melanie, with cacao and all sorts of goodies in it. Beneath that is my precious coconut oil that I'm having lots of. Here's some Bassica to keep me alkaline. Here's a really cool super green smoothie powder. I really believe in being highly alkaline all the time so that my stem cells can heal and my cancer cells have a hard time. That's also why I'm on the ketogenic diet, so that I metabolically stress those cancer cells. Here is 1,000 milligram tablets of vitamin C, and I'm at the moment following a regime from a very interesting scientist and doctor named Michael Jaffe. So I'm going to have about 10,000 milligrams, 10 grams of vitamin C over the next, 12 hours in ICU. Up here is my monitor. I can't believe that my oxygen saturation was at 100% all the time, and my vitals are so fantastically healthy. I've just had quite significant liver surgery, and I've got no pain at all. And I'm, as I said, feeling terrific. I've had a clear broth soup, and I've been having the yogurt every hour with all of these supplements, but just a few mouthfuls of the yogurt in my mouth predominantly to activate the Wader's patches on the tonsil ring, the macrophages. I'm heavily into immunotherapies, and that's why I've been able to have this curative surgery 4 years after I was given my completely terminal diagnosis and I was riddled with cancer. So I've used GCMAF and many other immunotherapies in the last 4 years, and today I'm just sort of making a few notes before my battery dies in the phone and my battery dies in me, because I'm actually quite tired now. But I wanted to capture the moment where I'm in intensive care, because every moment is precious, as I said in the beginning. My old nickname on the internet was Pete43 Lost at Sea, and in many respects, cancer patients are lost at sea in their own way in terms of all the choices that are available to us now, especially the information on the internet. Even different doctors have different opinions in the conventional medical system. I'm just going to show you some of the surgical stuff. Nothing too gross, but if you have a liver resection, that's what it's going to look like. Now, this was laparoscopic, and the surgeon's a genius, very highly regarded. And over here is a new innovation. That's a peritoneal port. And that means that you can have viral agents and other immune stimulators injected directly into your peritoneal cavity. Now, the whole peritoneum, this whole area here, is a massive immunological organ, according to my fantastic boss, probably one of the world's leading dendritic cell immunotherapists, Dr. Thomas Nesselhut. I've got no hesitation in commending all of my fantastic doctors. Dr. Galaski is the one who referred me to Professor Jacoby, who's done this amazing surgery, but it's going to give me the best chance of having remission, or at least the best quality and quantity of life that's spiritually and technologically possible. I have thanked God, and earlier I pointed up at the cross over here, this beautiful cross, and I've been praying the rosary. I'm a Catholic. What else do you do when you're stuck in bed? Well, what I've been doing, funnily enough, as soon as I turn my phone on, I've had people asking for help. And I've given them the contact details of my doctor and wished them well. And my other friend had an interesting question. It's completely relevant to me, so I'll go into it. Was that his mum's on morphine due to massive pain, and he's been doing GC math. Now, he asked me if they completely cancel each other out, and I said, in principle, yes, because they're competing with each other. Morphine's clearly immunodepressing quite significantly. It's actually why people die very quickly on morphine. I think there's a much better method, and it's the current trend in Germany, which is diol-methadone, but there are very complex issues around the conversion and the usage of these medicines. But at least I'm flagging it as something you should investigate. So the point was, why take an immune stimulator if your immune system's already completely depressed? And it's also, there are many other depressive factors like cytokines from the tumours. If you've got a significant tumour burden and you're experiencing pain, then you're already, and the pain itself is suppressive due to stress hormone cortisol. So there's many reasons why we have progression and we die. So at the moment, it's a very exciting video. I'm going to turn around and you can hopefully see me. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we will see. This is my red scuba diving hat from the St. George Dive Club. My wonderful friends, I'll be going diving in a few weeks when I'm back home in Sydney. I'm in a German hospital getting the latest treatments. I was supposed to have surgery back in Sydney, but they cancelled it because I've got a few little lung mets up here. They were going to do a massive operation, which probably would have killed me because of the release of what they call pro-angiogenic cytokines, VEGF, etc., etc., etc. So being denied surgery in Sydney was actually probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, because then, as it turned out, I was offered and able to get surgery here ASAP in a laparoscopic fashion, using all of the most advanced tricks and techniques. One of them was just simple little things like giving me Celebrex, which counteracts the negative effects of the painkillers I'm on the anaesthetics. And it's also good at reducing inflammation, and it's good for colorectal cancer. The other drug was a H2 inhibitor I couldn't pronounce, but I've been on cimetidine, which also has 3 or 4 methods of action. So there is a lot of wonderful things happening. In particular, I'm in intensive care, and they've bought me all of the perfect foods I had up in my hospital room to help me heal in an expedited manner. And that's the point. We don't know how quickly we can heal. We don't know the nature and extent of what miracles are possible for us until we try. This is where I really wanted to thank Dr. McCullough, because I've been following his advice for years. And even I was doing the ketogenic diet way before he made it popular. But the fact that he made it popular boosted my confidence, you know. So, and there's heaps of other people I could thank. Recently I've been into the microbiome, and I was at the Microbiome Medical Summit, Dr. Kelway, and I listened to 33 hours of his videos a couple of times, and I really enjoyed that. And my microbiome has been put to sleep. And right now I'm going to show you a microbiome trick. So here's my yogurt. Now I probably shouldn't be doing this. I'm just going to rub the yogurt all over my peritoneum to attempt to stimulate my macrophages. Now, conventional medicine will say this is absolute rubbish. There's absolutely no science to back this up. But I don't care, because I'm a terminally ill cancer patient, and I can try and do anything I want because I don't want to die. And if you believe in something, the odds are it'll probably help. Now here's my highly inflamed hand. Hello, darling.
Hi.
Yeah, I just leave it there.
Yeah?
I have a fantastic soup that's just arrived.
Heiß. Aufpassen.
Yes, I wait.
Yeah?
Danke, cheers.
Okay, cheers.
There you go. This beautiful nurse who doesn't speak any English. And the trick, if you're in Germany, is to use Google Translate. So in many respects, Google saved my life too. This arm is so swollen up because it tissued last night. And I'm going to see if rubbing yogurt on the highly inflamed region actually does any good. Now we know that there are bacteria in the skin. I tell you what, see the red mark? I don't know if you can. It's actually already feeling better. It's quite remarkable. Simple fermented foods. Now this is the GCMAF Bravo probiotic yogurt that my wonderful friend Professor Ruggiero had developed many years ago. Funnily enough, I've been on it for 4 years, since I came to Germany. And I've made it hundreds of times and carried the bugs all around the world. In fact, it's so good, I'm just going to have a mouthful now. I want you to think, I'm in intensive care. I've just had massive liver surgery and my peritoneal port fixed. And I feel absolutely fantastic. So well, in fact, I can actually do this second YouTube video. Now, the main reason I'm doing it is my battery is about to die, as I said, and I'm tired. And I know I need my rest. That was one of Dr. McCullough's #1 messages in the Microbiome Medical Summit. And download it and listen to all 33 episodes. if you can find it. Sleep and rest for healing. They're paramount. It's not in the conventional paradigm, but I know in my heart it's absolutely essential. And then you need to be able to meditate, and to do that I do this. If you want to do something really clever when you're in intensive care, you can do this. That's yoga breathing. Now, I felt a few little grimaces of pain, hardly anything. I'm not pushing this button, which is for the painkiller, because I don't want to suppress my immune response. Now, the reason that's really, really important, and this will get a little bit advanced, but in a nutshell, my basal body temperature this morning had started to fall. Now, what that means is my immune cycle is entering the stage where it's ready to go after tumours. This is an amazing hypothesis by my other friend, Dr. Martin Ashdown. So the TCR, the T cell receptors, let's change it, the interleukin 2 receptors, apparently express for a 12-hour period every cycle, which is about once a week. So you need to do immunostimulatory activities when they're expressed to get this thing called T cell proliferation. They're the guys that go after your tumours. I'm an immunotherapist, by the way. So I don't want to be too technical, but the point is, as soon as I get back to my room, I'm going to nebulize some GCMAF, a product called Rerum, again developed by Professor Ruggiero, and that's going to kickstart my immune system. Now, I've been lucky enough to have what they call an R0 resection, which means that there are supposed to be no tumour cells left. But in a nutshell, sometimes you can have an R1 resection where you've got some tumour cells left lying around, and they also disappear. And that's because when the surgeon cuts up the tumour cells, he leaves fragments of the tumour around. If you've got your immune system turned on at that point or soon after, they get educated that these antigens, the dead tumour cells or the cut up tumour cells, are bad. They go after it and they clean up the dirty margins. But now, no one's been able to work out an answer for this, but this is my friend's hypothesis. So I've been recording my basal body temperature for 3 or 4 months now, and it's absolutely remarkable to see that we have an immune cycle. So put a thermometer up your bottom every morning. On the subject of things that go up your bottom, I also highly recommend coffee enemas, and I'm addicted to them. Not too often, and often I'll do a GCMAF yogurt enema afterwards, which is only like a teaspoon of yogurt with some probiotics, again up your bottom, because 80% of your immune system is in your gut. Now, if we've had heavy cancer treatments or heavy alternative treatments, your gut will be in a mess. The best we can do is to, on a daily basis, or even a couple of times a day, put a little bit of yogurt into your gut. And I'm off all sugar, I'm on a ketogenic diet. You can Google all of these things. So this is really a hardcore alternative approach to cancer. But I'm here in a conventional hospital doing conventional treatments, and the message I'm trying to get across that's worked for me is blending of both, to be a bridge between the conventional system, then the opposite, which is the alternative system. Now, there's also an experimental system where you, as an informed patient, can ask for what you want. To that extent, one of my famous doctors, who I won't name, is bringing me some oncolytic viruses on Sunday, He's visiting me in the hospital, and I will inject into my peritoneum oncolytic viruses to kill any remnants of the tumour cells. Now, how's that for medical service? This is where a doctor has to love his patient. You know, he's 3 hours drive from this hospital, and he's going to come and help me save my life. Think about that for a moment. And if your doctor doesn't have that attribute, ditch him and find someone who loves you, because that's what you need if you want to have a miracle. The science-based medicine just doesn't cut it for most of us most of the time. Now look, it helps a lot of people, and that's great. But I'm just sharing what's worked for me in my journey and my insights, because that's my duty and that's what I want to do. And that sharing is what keeps me alive as well. I think I've thanked everybody. I've thanked God, I think. And I'm going to do another rosary. I'm a Catholic. My beautiful mum was a devout Catholic, and her faith and spirit's an inspiration for me. I'll be going home soon, much healthier than I was, to enjoy a holiday with my wife and children, who I love dearly. So that's it. Good luck, good night, and God bless.